Out on the Lanai, our special spot. When the sun goes down, if it's not too hot, it's where we laugh, it's where we dream, where sisterhood's always our thing. We talk it out, we sip our wine. Our Gen X hearts still hold the line. The world may change, but not our ways. We've got each other through our days. Out on the Lanai, wine glasses with a healthy pour, sharing every joy and every pain. Outside, right next to the pool, full truth is our only rule. Never anything we have to explain.
Hey, we're here.
We're here.
Nobody else is, but we're here. Welcome. We had to take a week off because it was the first week of school for Jamie, and that's always the weird thing on a Wednesday. And then we were contemplating not doing this week because it's been just crazy on top of crazy, but we wanted to be here, wanted to have at least some time to have some wine, relax, talk about Ireland. Yes. I have video of Ireland. So I have 25 minutes of video from Ireland, and that only gets us to petting sheep, which was day 2. Or was it? Yeah, it was day 2.
Yes.
So lots to do, lots to talk about. Jamie, how's school going?
Good. Well, last week was the first week back for us teachers. And so that was a lot of just setup and meetings and, your typical stuff. And then this week, Monday, was the first day back with students. So we actually had classes. And so I'm on day 3. I like all of my classes so far. I don't have any issues, which I can honestly say in the past 4 years, that is a first. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but it's good because usually right off the bat I already know I'm going to have an issue with a certain class. But none of my classes are bad. They are really good. They're following the cell phone rule, which is really strict this year because of the state. But big classes, very very large classes. We're talking 30, 35 students in a classroom for one teacher, which is a lot to manage, and to make sure. I mean, the standard is like 90% engagement, which is really hard when you have that many kids. So it's definitely gonna be a challenge this year, but I'm up to it. So I'm just tired. I'm not used to getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And so it's been a lot of taking naps when I get home. So
Summer was too short. We did not have enough time for summer.
No.
And then they gave you like this football field hanger style classroom.
Yes. So it's not even a double classroom. It's a double and a half classroom. It takes up half the hallway. It has a drain in it. Like I literally can, like in the floor, like I could literally roller rink, like it's like a roller rink in there. So yeah, it's very big. So when someone knocks on my door, I'm like, hold on, I'm coming. And it's like a cavern. But it's also at the end of the hall. And so I miss my teacher friends, and I don't get to like have like my powwows in between classes because I'm all the way at the very end of the hallway by myself. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but it's only 3 days in, so we'll see. I'm fine adjusting by myself and hanging out by myself.
Well, and hopefully they'll understand that you have this ginormous room. We should like put a couch and like a festival area in there.
Yeah, well, it has basically a whole kitchen. I have my ice maker, my coffee machine, refrigerator. I have everything, and I don't have to leave the room if I don't want to.
And you're at the end of the hall, so they should know they can get down there and get away from things.
Yes, but you know what? Things that really I didn't think of being at the end of the hall. So, just for any of you who are watching and didn't know, I've had the same room at the same high school for 4 years, and it's in the middle of the hallway, and it's quite a small room. And I've always made do. But now I'm at the end of the hallway on the first floor, which is nice. I don't have to take the stairs. But it's a hike. And I didn't think about like that. Like the hike, and also because students are late, because it takes them forever because they have to pass the bathroom, and the bathroom's like, ooh, let me like go inside and check myself in the mirror before I go to class. So I'm constantly having to like wait and not teach as soon as the bell rings, because I still have students that are down at the other end of the hall. I'm like, can't see you. Are you in my class? But yeah, they're walking towards me. That's no other class except for mine back there. So yeah, it's definitely it's gonna be adjustment, but we'll make do. It's only 3 days in, so.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I've been in training at work, so
Mhm.
that was my big craziness. And we've got one more day of training, and it's been 4 hours of training a day, from noon
Oof.
until 4. And it's like today I was the only one that got through the labs, because it's this new tech that we have to use for security. So fun stuff. And I wrote a book and a half, or a book and 3/4 since Ireland. And I'm not joking. I have it. Because I'm going through and editing it. This is my first book. Crazy, huh? And it was so much fun writing that one. And I had over 490 pages, and it was just too long. So I ripped out the middle, which was like this whole other story. And now I'm reworking it because it had different characters. The story was good. The idea was good. It was just too much in the first book. So yeah.
And you made a sequel.
So I made the
Yeah.
sequel, and I've got already the third book outlined.
Mm.
It's a lot of dragons, and a lot of it came from what we're going to show you.
Okay.
Right. So everybody loves to watch home movies, and we've got home movies. So let's do this. No sound till the end, because I just, one, figured we'd talk, and two, it's the sheep, and the sheep are worthwhile. So this is Kilkenny.
Mm-hmm.
And Kilkenny is this beautiful town. We literally got in overnight, had breakfast, and Dennis drove us all the way out into the middle of Ireland to this beautiful. Ireland is breathtaking, because again, it's such a mix of the old and the new. And here we had a sidewalk, but literally right up ahead we don't have a sidewalk,
Mhm.
but it's like looks like side. And there's just stuff like this, right? That just and flowers. Yeah, I took even video of the
Lots of
flowers,
flowers.
because everything was just so beautiful. Very, very LGBTQIA plus friendly. That was a
Mhm.
theater that was downtown. This was, our sightseeing day one in Kilkenny. And
Oh, this was the tour of the Smithics.
yeah, now, but look at this road. This road originally was horse-drawn
Mm-hmm.
carriages, and then they reinforced it for cars. But you can barely fit a car down
I don't
this.
think anybody drives on. I mean, nobody.
You can't park there, so it's still, yeah, it's still active, but it's just ridiculous. And look how fun this was. Now, I thought we were actually going to see a brewery. They haven't brewed there for a long time, so they've made it into more of a kind of just an attraction, and really nice.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And by the way, it's spelled like Smithwicks, but we learned very early on that it is pronounced in Ireland as Smithics, not Smithwicks. So the W is silent. Smithics.
Yep.
And it was very good. And they have different kinds of beer. And they actually at one point outsold Guinness. And Guinness was so peeved that they did that they actually bought it because they couldn't stand that they were sold.
This is
What's the skate park?
Yeah, this is the skate park. Now, that monastery that we just saw, that was originally there, and
That's where it was originally brewed.
That's where it was originally brewed. The monks had a problem with dysentery in the water, so they were looking for ways to purify the water, and they discovered brewing beer. And they were drinking 9 pints of beer a day.
Very happy monks.
I would be on my ass if I drank 9 pints of beer a day. But again, there was that wall that was part of the walls that they created for the monastery. Graffiti.
Oh, this was cool. This reminded me of the that we shall not name.
Yeah, the series of books
the series of books that we don't mention, but it really did, and it was just really, really sweet and old, like cobblestones and just like kind of hidden. This is the castle.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was actually where a tavern where a woman had built this very successful tavern in the 1500s and
Mhm.
was then tried as a witch,
Mhm.
acquitted, came back, and then they were going to try her again, so she disappeared and no one knows what happened to her. And these okay, so here you can see the power connection of England to Ireland. This was literally a castle that was part of the gentrification of Ireland right across from the Catholic Church that is still there and still in use. That was part of the process where they were or the Protestant church where they outlawed the Catholic Church. So and this was my Bridgerton dream.
It was really cool.
So we saw
Very large.
we saw 3 different castles in 3 different periods. This was and you'll see some portraits like in this room where it's very classic dress all the way through, very modern dress. Modern.
No, modern.
Yes.
This was like Victorian
Yeah.
era.
But they've maintained and kept this castle and are in restoring it even all the
Still,
time.
yeah, the painting was it frescoes? They were like redoing them. I don't know if that's the right term, but
And this was some sort of prehistoric beast on the wall, right? This.
yes, it was massive. It was so big.
So next time you want to go hunting deer, that's what could come back and get your ass in the next life, right? That's their ancestors.
It's funny because when I got here to do the show, I think it was Katie that actually asked me, how did I like Ireland? She was asking me, and I was like, me? And she's like, yeah. How did you like it? And I'm like, well, Dennis and I have been to many countries in Europe, and it certainly wasn't my least favorite, but it definitely wasn't my most favorite. And I would say primarily it was because of the food.
Mhm.
The food was, it wasn't Italy. Like Italy, I mean, as a matter of fact, the best food we had in Ireland
Was
was
right after this tonight.
oh, okay, is Italian food. That was hands down the best food we had. Um, and food is a big thing for me. And I also felt like that's when I went to South Africa, because South Africa, did not, I mean, South Africa was amazing and everything was gorgeous and the weather was beautiful. But again, the food had a lot of curry, and I don't like curry. So, like, that was hard for me. And it was a lot of just different, more exotic spices and things, which I'm not big on spice. So, yeah, the black pudding.
Yeah,
We definitely exhausted the Irish breakfast. I don't know
well,
if
the ones we paid for were good. We had
yeah, the
2
ones that
breakfasts
were
that we paid for.
included.
The
Yeah.
ones that came with the rooms as like continental breakfasts were.
But they're better than continental breakfast you would get in the US. In the US, it's just like a cereal bar and like a piece of toast. So it was like other things, but they just weren't great.
This was obviously the Great Hall for the castle, and this was where they held court.
That's like the size of my classroom.
This is Jamie's classroom. Sorry, I snuck it in just to fool you all.
You know what I'll do? I'll do a video tomorrow when I have break, and I'll video my room so that y'all can see just how big it is, that you can see how big, I'm dealing with. It's like this room. It's like a great room. Dennis said an overachiever. Dennis is actually the overachiever because he didn't kill any people. He killed a few bushes, but he didn't kill any people. So when he was driving on the wrong side of the road.
Now this was our very exciting trip, and we spent a lot of time in this city. This video is probably longer than we spent.
Was this Cork?
This is Cork.
Yeah, Cork was a drive-by. Like, we literally drove in and drove by. We didn't even get out of the car because I was like, you know what? This is like, it kind of reminded me of, like, no offense to any of the Jersey peeps out there. It was kind of like Newark, or like, not Camden, but it was like Newark. It was a port town, and it was just very dreary and lifeless. And the Blarney Stone is actually in Cork, but not in the city. It's
Yes.
like outside. And we were like, nah, I know everybody goes, but we didn't want to kiss the dirty stone. So we didn't do the Blarney Stone.
Lisa was the only one who is like has a significant Irish ancestry that we know of, and she is such a germaphobe that she wouldn't even get near
No.
the Blarney Stone. So this is where we ended up next, and
Was this Kinsdale?
Kinsdale.
Kinsdale.
Kinsdale was absolutely charming, and it literally was 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
It was so
And it was
close.
a hidden thing. Nobody really goes. And so that's why we had
Yeah.
found it. Because I was like, oh, everybody said we should go because nobody goes here and it should be on the must list, like the must do.
Now I'm going to thank Jamie because she had lists of things to do. I looked through things, Lisa looked through things, we watched videos, we had some stuff that we wanted to see, but we didn't also want to kind of get in the way of what Jamie does when Jamie does what she does, which is she had all of these different options, all of these different ideas. And so literally it was, she could look on this list and go, well, this didn't work out. Let's just do this.
Mhm.
And it was so beautiful and incredible. And like, so the first castle inspired part of my dragon stories. This,
No, that was such
this
a cool story.
inspired some of my dragon stories.
fairy
Literally,
door.
it's a fairy door. And oh, this was the second castle, but it's no longer a
The
castle.
fort.
It's a ruined fort, but it was built.
6-point star.
Yeah, but it was built out of the stones from a Viking castle.
It was
So,
really cool.
and it was raining, not enough to be a pain in the ass, but
it was just
enough
kind
to
of
be
like
cold.
annoying. But the weather, the temperature was amazing. It was like a cool like 60, 65. It was never hot. Like it was so much nicer than Florida. And it was humid, but it wasn't humid like here, and it wasn't dry like Vegas. The only problem is I mean, it's called the Emerald Isle for a reason. It rains basically all day. And so there's really no sun. We did not see sun except for maybe 20 minutes of the entire week we were there.
Yeah,
There was like no sun. So
it was like
I mean,
3 minutes a day for 2 days, and then
if you've ever been to Portland, it's like being in Portland.
Mhm.
Like it's just kind of dreary and kind of damp. It didn't do great for my foot and my arthritis because it was also a little chilly. So that wasn't a great mix for me. But it was just constant, almost like those sprays they have when you go to like the zoo or something where they like spray you. It's like a mist. It was like mists all like I mean, and a couple times it would rain, but then people would like duck inside and then come back out. But it was just almost like perpetually misting.
this fort lasted from the 1500s, and they built it in 2 years, which it shows just how advanced the stonemasons of Ireland are. They built it in 2 years, and huge, and it lasted all the way past World War One as an active fort. And
It's right on the sea.
it's gorgeous.
Mhm.
It's gorgeous. You're going to see a lighthouse that has been there forever that's still in use, that guards this harbor. And for me, it was one of those moments. And two things. One, first, these walls were so high,
You can't see over them. They have little cutouts in them so you can see through.
but down to the base of this fort had to be like 200 feet. It was enormously high walls. And we were looking at this lighthouse. We'd been just a few weeks before at the beach all together,
Mhm.
looking out towards, the east. This is us looking back towards home. I literally looking through this on the horizon. We're thousands of miles away from home, where
Mhm.
we'd been just a few days before, but it was absolutely breathtaking.
It was breathtaking, but also if you're going to go to Ireland, be smart. Bring a hat and a raincoat. Because I was wearing a hat and a raincoat. We all were pretty much the entire week. I think everyone's like, I was showing pictures to my students this week as an introduction to myself. And I said, look, this is when I was in Ireland. They're like, did you wear the same thing every day? I'm like, no, it was raining every day. So I had a raincoat on every day.
And they could always find me because mine was pink.
Yeah, well, you know
Oh,
me, I
coral.
was in my signature black.
Yeah.
I was in all black.
Everybody else was in black, and I was like,
Yes. Oh, Dennis had little blue on.
He did.
He had a little blue on.
did. But yeah, I was trying to get even pictures of this. These are like 3 stories down,
Mhm.
which was
I was at the barracks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this went all the way around. We're on the top of the battlements right now. So literally it would be cannons. Those are pads were designed for cannon fire to protect the harbor. And this is that little lighthouse that points west and is still working. It's still just as a beacon. Yeah, no, this was fascinating. And
I like this camera angle. It's almost like you're actually there. It's pretty cool. It's like you're like a bird's eye view of like it's cool.
yeah, I used a gimbal, so it feels like we're kind of sailing along. But there was a sailing regatta that was coming
Oh
in,
yes.
into the bay, going, oh, this is not good weather for sailing.
I think they're used to it. I'm sure they're used to it. Everybody's wears raincoats there too. I mean, they're used to it.
But look at this stonework. It's just incredible. And it's been there for far longer than our country has been a country or even a concept of a country.
Yeah.
Yeah, just incredible. Incredible. Ah, Killarney. Now, this was we only had one night, and I think this was probably my favorite hotel.
It was definitely our favorite hotel.
This
It was gorgeous. And it actually had real room keys, like actual keys that you let yourself into a room. And each room had a doorbell. And it was like towel warmers.
Our room had a towel warmer. Yeah, it was
It
so
was
nice.
really, really cool. A huge clawfoot tub. We had a room that was right in the front of like the street. So we were facing the street and it was amazing. Is this Dingle?
This is Dingle.
Dingle was, I think, my favorite.
Dingle was this amazing tourist town. It's also a fishing town. And we this was, again, Jamie's planning took us off the beaten path. But
this was the best score that we.
Oh yeah, this day was absolute magic from beginning to end. Like you can see
so much shopping. It was the port that was there. We had really amazing ice cream.
Beautiful Catholic church that
donkeys and
the donkeys that with dogs sitting on donkeys. You know, we saw a lot in Dingle.
This is also right at the site where the Lusitania went down. It was off of the Dingle Peninsula.
And if we'd had more time, I would have taken one of the tours and gone out and seen puffins.
The puffins,
because I love puffins. They're one of my favorites. But so yeah, this was, and these are the cliffs above Dingle. So we were on our way now to go to feed baby lambs and hold baby lambs.
Okay, and I'm just going to put it out there because I know we didn't know until we were in the car because we had a lot of time in the car and we were looking up what is the difference between a lamb and a sheep. So I'm going to let you all know what the difference is. A sheep is an adult sheep. A lamb is a sheep that's under a year old, and then mutton is one that's over 2. I think it's over 2. Yeah. Over 2. So it's just based on age. They're all the same animal.
But again, I mean, breathtaking. This is literally right by the seashore. There's sheep, and and the sheep would go all the way high up into the mountains
on the cliffs, and the dogs bring them down.
So this is where we actually were going to feed sheep. These little stone huts, which were
beehive huts.
Yeah, but they were featured in The Last Jedi as where Luke Skywalker was hiding out. And this
little baby
isn't it adorable? I mean, look how excited. They were so hungry and just so happy.
Little tail going.
Yeah. Now I was going to feed and hold a sheep, but instead I decided to just document it because it was
Dennis called. How cute. He caught one. He's like, I got it. It's right here.
They were just so sweet. They were just so sweet. I don't think I will ever touch lamb or anything lamb related again.
I don't like lamb. I don't like the way it tastes.
I don't like
that.
I didn't. I would. Yeah, it wasn't before. Ever really. But I just can't now. I mean, they are just. I have 3 sweaters. They're all pink.
Yeah, but the wool from the sheep, they don't kill them. They just they need them alive because they need to keep growing their wool. So
I have 3 sweaters in a place where I don't need one, but it's fine because I will find ways to travel and and use them.
That one's mine, and he told me already, don't let this one go. He's tricky.
Yeah, he was loco.
He was like, I'm gonna get some of this and I'm gonna take off.
Yeah, he wanted to run. He was the curious one. At least was going to literally inhale the bottle if given the opportunity. And then people snuck in. It was supposed to be if you fed the sheep, then you could go in and hold the sheep, but people just walked into the little.
And he was by himself, so he was like overwhelmed, the guy, and he was missing a person. So
Yeah, it was their big national sport day.
oh yeah, it was
hurling.
hurling, and that is a national sport in Ireland, and it's basically county versus county or town versus town. And so every town that we drove through, because obviously we drove through many, they were all had big signs up of pictures of their hurling team and congratulations and go get them. And they all had flags. I mean, when I tell you flags, it was all the different clan flags of all the different um, neighborhoods, and they take it very seriously. We don't play it here. No, it's kind of like it was like the Super Bowl. We just happened to be there at the time. It was like the Super Bowl of Ireland.
Everybody was in Dublin, and we were out of it, thank God. But everybody was glued to their TV that wasn't in Dublin. So we got a private, and I leave it on here. He does a demo of how the sheep dog brings the sheep down from the mountains. Dave was incredible.
His name was Dave. The dog's name was Dave.
This is the one that I pet. He was a little grungy, a little bigger, and kind of left alone.
Nobody wanted to pet him.
But he came over to me and I petted him, and he was just such a little sweetheart. And they use these ones for clothing. So long life ahead for these little babies. Which is
they
so
live.
sweet.
They don't. I mean, they don't use them for anything else.
This house showed me a simpler way of life. It's not a life I could do. I'm too lazy. There's no way I could dealing with animals and that much work. But it really reminded me that there was life and good life long before our technology made our lives.
And we'll still go on after technology.
Yeah.
And these people will survive without the technology for sure. No.
These guys were just as
so these are sheep. So these are over a year old. The little ones we were playing with were lambs. These are sheep. So these are the beehive huts that were featured in Star Wars. Yes.
Features inside, built by monks.
All by hand, stone placed on top of another stone on top of another stone.
And these have been here for centuries. These are incredibly old, still standing, protected, but right in the middle of people's land. It's not like this is not a park. These are protected. They're left alone. They're just there. And
well, it's also interesting to note, like part of the landscape of Ireland, which you often see in some of those informational videos, is the cutouts of the land. Those are actually stones. They don't put fences up. They just put stones to mark where their land ends and someone else starts. So they don't have fences like we have fences and walls to keep people out and all that stuff. Oh, this
was treasure and tramp
version of your dogs.
Yeah, these reminded me of exactly our two
black sheep.
The little black sheep. They would not stop playing. They were rambunctious as heck. And I have a lot of video of them, but I decided, since we're getting close to time,
yeah,
that yeah. Watch him get ready to start herding sheep. This is amazing. Very low, like, I'm gonna get you, sheep. Waited until he was sent, and then he would go all the way up to the enclosure, top of the enclosure, and he would receive commands. So if he was told to
yeah, he's telling him, we can hear him.
If it was away, they were to move the sheep away. If it was towards, he would push towards.
Walk on.
Dave was a little willful that day.
He was young. He was only about 2 years old.
Yeah. But he was incredible. took just know to stay away from him. So he
Mhm.
would get around and corral them and push them in the direction that the owner wanted them to go.
Yeah, because imagine trying to do this as a human.
Yeah.
Humans don't want to climb up this.
And they all at the end are in a line. They're gonna walk over this ancient fence.
We're gonna walk around it. Walk around. Walk around.
Yeah, this was just incredible.
That
to
was
watch.
really cool. And he had asked that was the owner, by the way, that's standing there in the video. He had asked if we had any questions, and I had asked, do you choose dogs? Do you select them based on their temperament? And he said yes, they pick them up based on their temperament, and it takes them a bit to learn the commands and stuff, but they love doing what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do. They're sheepdogs. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, that's what they do. They herd sheep.
Yeah. And so that only got us through day 2 of Ireland and brings us to 31 minutes. Haha. So let us know if you want to see more of our trip. I think we can cover the rest of our journey in one more show. If not, we'll get back to other things. But
Mhm.
definitely wanted to show you some of our experience. For me, it was life changing. Those places that you dream of as, you know, just mysterious and ancient and beautiful, and then seeing this beautiful people in this beautiful life. And
It was a once in a lifetime. It was beautiful.
it was. So let us know if you want to see more, and we will be back next week.
Yep.
And other than that, see you later.
Bye.